challenge page is pretty big and long. I have a bit of trouble sometimes finding the right spot. Maybe Dark will be able to find it and fill us in later. I think the name is auto-generated based on Swap's little server utility tool that he created. So I'll try to mention that to him, Smokey. Thanks for mentioning it. So I can tell that the seed is being distributed, so we're very close to seeing this match kick off. I'm still gonna look, see if I can find where match 18 goes. Oh wait, that's not the right match. No wonder. There's 16. Okay. Okay. So it doesn't look like it's decided yet who in the losers bracket who the next opponent will be for whichever of these runners that loses the race tonight. All right, we've got our hash. Garuda, Waver, Kago. Hopefully there's no unwanted Kagos tonight. Garuda is the one I'm not familiar with. But Smokey is going to bed, so that means I don't have anyone in chat to tell me what it is. All right, so I'll wish these runners good luck. They're going to put on a good race. Really excited. So the Kago enemy, it's an enemy and a move. The enemy is the ones you see in the room we call the Mushroom Kingdom, which is between Terminator and the Green Brinstar elevator. You shoot them and they spawn out these tiny little jumpy spore things. That's a Kago. And the move of where you can fall, like you can get through an enemy by morphing at the right time or turning around at the right time, was discovered on that enemy. So that's why the move is named after them. And you'll see Kagos, especially in Lower Norfair, at the spiky elevator platforms. Garudas. Okay, so the Garudas must be similar to the Rios if they're the flying enemies in the cathedral. Phoenix, just pick one. We won't know. Most of us probably wouldn't. So we know a lot of people like to find space jump early. A lot of people like to find ice early. And a lot of people like to find high jump early. What each of those can be on the morph pedestal or in the ceiling. Well, wait, I don't think any of those can be in the ceiling. I know they can be on the morph pedestal. Oh, we are off. Now here's an important question for me. Do they moonfall? Do you moonfall? Not seeing any moonfalls yet. But the parlor moonfall's not exactly the easiest, so we'll see. If they moonfall here, okay, CaptainDapper does not. FusionWarrior, oh, FusionWarrior going for the moonfall? Yes. But not moonfalling. So, alrighty. Last chance to predict what's on the morph pedestal. And we have Morph Ball. Moonfall can be a little tricky to learn at first. Specifically getting the spin jump moonfall. But once you get it, it's pretty easy to keep doing once you figure out the muscle memory for it. And our first missiles item is super missiles. Alright. That means we've got 2 more chances for power bombs, but usually we don't see power bombs in the ceiling, I don't think, over here. We'll find out. Ceiling item, super missiles. Okay, what's on the other side of the wall? More supers. Y'all know what this means. Bomb Chorizo is holding the goods. Darkred making a good point in chat that Moonfall is a lot easier to master than using Moonwalk on the bosses. Specifically, Ridley. That's where a lot of people get tripped up learning how to use Moonfall while fighting Ridley, because you have to do a lot of quick turnarounds. Unfortunately, we cannot check Billy Mays, Left of Morph, Meme Route, Old Mother Brain, because we didn't find power bombs early. Getting a nice wall climb from CaptainDapper. Fan of the wall climbs myself. Oh, Fusion looks like he's going for something different. Wall jumps giving both of these runners a little bit of an issue here. Wall jumps are very counterintuitive in Super Metroid, but I'm sure all of chat is quite familiar with that at this point. So let's get some predictions in chat of what the next progression item will be after BT here. We'll probably see these runners go to Terminator and maybe check 230 before going over there. Dapper getting his Alcatraz pretty easily there. Darkrid making the call that he would go directly to Billy Mays after this. Well, we will see. Looks like we're getting a 230 check and a back of gauntlet check. Okay, back of gauntlet is a Meridia special. Meridia special is what I like to call anytime you find a super missile pack and a missile pack together in one location. Because in vanilla, they're pretty sure that Meridia is the only place in the game where you find regular missiles and super missiles side by side. Captain gonna give us an early supers check and probably a Ron Popeil also. Gotta set up for that mock ball just right. Oof. Looked like he was gonna get it. I'm not very familiar with either of these runners. But if you are, if any of you are friends or fans of them, watch them often, how new are they to this? And do they... Ooh. There we go. Dapper got the mock ball. But yeah, how new are either of these runners, if you know? Gravity suit at the... Wow, at the Brinstar Reserve. That's pretty awesome. Definitely happy to find that. Okay. Not new, but not frequent players. Gotcha. Might help me figure out, you know, some predictions I can make about calls they might make. And we missed all of what was in Round Popeil. But we just have some regular missiles at the early supers. This is a really interesting play by Fusion to go and check Upper Red Tower. The Alpha and Beta power bombs. Depending on what he finds, it might just really pay off. I have no doubt he'll eventually be back to Green Brand and find his gravity suit. Dapper gonna make his way down to the Yetacoons, our favorite Idle Fanfare singers. Thank you, chat, for filling me in on the Ron Popeil location. Yetacoons with a vanilla E-Tank. Okay, and the Yetacoon Super? Just a power bomb. That puts us at 10 though. That's a pretty good amount. You want to, if you don't know where ice is, you're probably going to want at least 15, just in case. And even if you have ice but not regular bombs, you still might want 15, just in case. The deboost training hall can be very tricky when you don't have a suit. Luckily, Dapper has found Etheria. Those spikes do a lot more damage than you might expect. I'm guilty of having died there in a rando race before. Luckily, it wasn't a SRL or a tournament race, just a friendly race with a friend. So I guess the Edecoons were worth it for that power bomb pack in the E-Tank, because we haven't found any other E-Tanks yet for Dapper. The only other one we've seen, I think, is at Moat. So Warrior going back up to Criteria. Probably gonna go left, and maybe we'll see if he goes down to Brinstar again, or well, to Blue Brin or to Green Brin. Zapper's coming into Big Pink. Let's see what we have here. Some more vanilla ammo. Side hoppers. Well, again, Dapper has gravity, so that's some protection against the enemies here. There's a third set of power bombs for Dapper at Mission Impossible. Looks like Fusion will be going to Terminator. Super missiles at the charge missile, while super missiles are also the Terminator. Two super missile fanfares on screen at the same time. And Dapper noping out of X-Ray. X-Ray located at charge there. Guess you can say it's the nope scope for Dapper. That Rio trolling him a little bit there, as he sets up for the backdoor spore spawn. Looked like he got it first try. It was a good setup. Space jump. That's a very good item to find. With space jump and gravity, you've got a lot of movement through Meridia. This seed might just be telling you to go to Meridia. Fusion getting their gravity suit now. Probably gonna feel a little bit behind by this point, of course. But the game is still early. There's still a lot of choices to be made. We'll see what happens. Oh, I don't have sound on for Dapper, but that setup looks... Oh, that first one looked really good. Okay, they got it. Very easy. Good job. Super missiles at the wave gate. So unless we need wave to get to Croc, it's probably not in logic yet. We're not likely to find it, find wave. Fusion making their way through the Edecoons area. Definitely gonna pick up those power bombs. Dapper, will you show us what is at left of... Yes, going to show us what is at left of Morph, and maybe even Billy Mays. Ooh, those hoppers doing some damage. Just missiles left of Morph, okay. Nothing special to see. On Fusion's side, we've got the Edicoons. It blew my mind the first time I heard that when someone told me that the Edicoons sing the Idle Fanfare when you first come into the room. Not when they start jumping up the walls, but the bit before that. They sing the fanfare. Dapper going back up to criteria so we can get an old mother brain check. I don't think Dapper checked 230, so probably gonna go check that as well. And with Space Jump and 10 PBs, Gauntlet should be a breeze. Maybe we'll get a Gauntlet check. Turning around, so no Gauntlet check from Dapper. Fusion now entering Big Pink. We'll see if they nope out of that X-ray scope. Looks like we are getting the Millie Maze check after all, chat. I don't know if I would have made that call to go up the elevator just to check left of Old Mother Brain. Elevator is a good amount of time for one item when you wrote it up and down. Let's see. Supers but wait, there's more. More supers. That's not a bad deal. 2 super packs is pretty good. I'm sure, we'd be more excited about Varia or High Jump or Plasma, or Screw Attack, Speed Booster. Okay, so looks like Fusion is about to go and do Spore Spawn check. Maybe Wavegate for, we'll see. No, Spore Spawn, awesome, good. He'll be happy with what he finds back there. Looks like Dapper is gonna head back to Green Hills and go to Red Tower. We'll see if they go up or down from there. Having Space Jump and Gravity and having another E-Tank at the moat definitely means Fantoon's doable. They've got plenty of ammo. Just gotta be careful not to enrage him. Ooh. Come on, Fusion. You can get this. Jumping way too far out. Oh. I've never seen anyone set it up by jumping it so far out like that. I don't know if you can do it if you're not right up against the wall. CaptainDapper making his way down Red Tower. Gonna check X-ray. Yeah, don't waste too much time on that, Fusion. You'll be glad in the end. Let's see. What are we gonna find at X-ray, Captain? Just missiles. That's disappointing when you put so much time into an item such as the X-ray check. Looks like Fusion will be going over and checking Billy Mays in a moment. See a lot of remarks in chat about the health. Yeah, we've not seen but 2 E-tanks so far. One of which is at the moat. After getting first power bombs at BT, Fusion made the... Oh no! Dapper! Did he save anywhere? I don't think he has. Is that... No, he did save somewhere. Okay. That's a big setback. At least he knows X-ray's not worth it now. Oh, at the Etacoons. Okay. That's alright. You know what to get and not to bother with now, so... Looks like Fusion making the call to go down also. Be careful, Fusion! Those spikes do a lot of damage without area! So in the randos, most of these randos anyway, the suits don't all protect against the same things like they do in vanilla. In vanilla, if you have gravity, you don't need Varia, except for the baby and for Mother Brain. But in randos, the damage protection is divvied up. And Varia gets a lot of the environmental protection. So, for instance, the spikes at X-ray do a lot more damage when you don't have Varia. And Fusion just finding that out the hard way too. 2 deaths to an X-ray check. Both of our runners are going to feel really far behind now. So both of them have to make their way back to Big Pink again and go through once more. They're gonna, no doubt, go for Space Jump. Fusion getting set back a good bit more than Dapper. Oh. I can actually imagine how far behind they both go now. So, Vinicus in chat was noting that he didn't think he would have to unclick things on the tracker. Good job on tracking if you're actually unclicking to mark off what they lost. We don't do that. I usually just leave it, you know. Sure, they're going to go back for it. Just leave it. We're not very good at tracking, though. Dapper picking up the X-ray scope this time. That is a change. Fusion grabbing gravity suit once again. Gosh, you know, both of these runners are calculating in their head what to skip, what ammo to skip over. Because the only real major item along the way is an E-tank, and we think that's at Etacoon's vanilla location. And then the space jump at Spore Spawn. Other than that, the Etacoons and Big Pink were all ammo. And no doubt, you know, they're all feeling behind it. Oh, rough shoes to be in. The Edacoons are definitely worth going back for. You'll get the E-Tank and the power bombs. Though, I don't know if I would revisit the Edacoon room where you just found missiles. We're getting a new check here. We haven't seen the Spazer yet. Spazer location has an E-Tank. For a moment, it looked like Dapper was hesitating on whether or not to pick it up. Clearly, you do want that E-Tank. Yeah, I would have made the same call that Fusion just made. Go back, get that E-Tank, get those power bombs, go back the way you came in. The missile pack wouldn't be worth it. You'll find more missiles along the way. Dapper is going to head into the warehouse. Fusion going to reclaim the items lost from Big Pink. Crate missiles? What do we have? Speed booster. Wow. That is a very good find. So, other than Lower Norfair, the seat is open to them now. With gravity, space jump, speed booster, they can go a lot of places. I hate when a seat opens up this so much early. When I'm racing it, anyway. You never know what the right play is. You know, it's hard to read the seed because it tells you to go everywhere. I have not seen this setup from FusionWarrior on the Super Block. Looks like he got it though. Good job. Kraid, do you get to dance today, Kraid? Let's find out. Ooh, yes. Kraid is going to a dance. Fusion getting space jump again. Definitely worth the get. Little X-ray pausing action has Kraid ends the dance. Kraid holding a pack of supers. Where did he put Varia? Who's gonna find it first? Looks like Fusion's gonna go back into Blue Brintstar. Billy Mays with supers. Left Amorphous missiles. So I'm not sure I would have made this call. But he clearly knows where he's going. What's the last warehouse item? We're going to find out in a moment when CaptainDapper gets into the frog pocket. Yeah, going back up to Billy Mays for the supers. I guess you know you're going to need the ammo, so it's not a bad call going to where you know it's at. I would have saved it for later if you needed to come for it, though. Frog pocket holding more ammo itself. So if CaptainDapper chooses to go down to upper Norfair, we've got the high jump boots location has 3 items. And the Bubble Mountain room is also in logic with Speed Booster through the Frog Speedway. So there's an item there too. Checking ice would be a little risky on 2 E-Tanks. Definitely possible, I think, with Speed Booster, but a little risky. Croc escape item is supers. Doubt we'll see anyone come that way unless they need the ammo and they're in the room. Or they check they're near Croc anyway. High jump boots, really close to their vanilla location, right outside where the E-tank normally is. That's a happy find. Let's see, what's inside the high jump boots room? Well, let's see. Super missiles. I wonder if Fusion's going to make an early Gauntlet play since she came up the Blue Bryn elevator. So, alrighty. Not going to get a Boba Mountain room check. I don't disagree with that. No point in going over there. I mean, technically, I think Varia could be there because it's not a heated room, and you just have to go through the one small room with the gate, and it's technically in logic. I don't know if Varia can be there, but I know it's in logic. Looks like Captain is going into Meridia. Making a save, probably feeling a little bit, cautious after the death at X-Ray. Only 2 E-tanks, not a bad idea. Both are runners climbing a vertical room. Dapper does have speed booster, so he'll be able to get what the Main Street item is. Oh, he's going for this incredibly difficult short charge along the bottom. That is an awesome job, Dapper. Good job at that. That short charge is not in any way easy. And the Crab Supers is vanilla. Meanwhile, Fusion going into Gauntlet. In 2 of my 4 rando races for this tournament, Varia has been at Gauntlet. So, and we've seen Gauntlet there more than once outside of my races. So, this could be a very good call. We know the back of Gauntlet is a Meridia special, so nothing special back there. Supers. Definitely going to grab them. Now, I wonder what play he's going to make now. Is he going to go down towards Crate, or is he going to go over to Wreck Ship? Looks like Dapper just might be giving us a Mama Turtle check here. Tori is the name of these turtles, but we just like to call them turtles, obviously. And Mama Turtle's the biggest one. You get near the babies, she'll get mad. She does quite a lot of damage if she spins into you. The E-Tank location has super missiles. What's in the wall? Power bombs. Fusion resetting after seeing what was in the back of Gauntlet. So, probably the best bet, if you're FusionWarrior, is to go check Gauntlet. You might be thinking to go check Kraid. I don't mean Gauntlet, I mean Wreck Ship. Obviously, they just checked Gauntlet. No, to answer chat, I do not believe that Fusion checked Gauntlet, the back end of Gauntlet earlier. CaptainDapper did, yes, but I don't believe Fusion did. Oof. Luckily, Fusion has a save right outside of this room at the ship. So, not a big setback. The beach, holding a missile, I believe that's a vanilla item. Going to the watering hole, where you would normally find one of the Meridia specials in vanilla. Alright, Fusion looks like he's going over to Wreckship. Check the ocean item, Fusion. Check the ocean item. A super combo at the watering hole. I did not see the item that was above ocean there on Fusion's side. So if anyone in chat made that out, please let me know what that was. Regular missile. Thank you, Trunifor. Alright. We have a lot of route divergence in this, and it might, but it's gonna make or break the seed for someone. And the dead ship item is a reserve tank. Only having 2 E-tanks so far, it's not a bad call to pick that up. A lot of people normally skip reserve tanks when they find them. But the seed is low on health so far. All of the E-tanks have to be in upper and lower Norfair. There still could be a few in Wreckship. Shoot, it might be full of them. But we've seen so many checks and so many other places. There's another E-tank. I don't think Dapper realized what he was skipping at the time. He jumped over it. It's kind of hard to jump over that item, so maybe he didn't think he was going to. FusionWarrior shouldn't have a hard time with Fantoon. With gravity, these flames don't deal very much damage, but you are still on 2 E-tanks. Just be careful not to enrage. I noticed that Dapper saved, so yeah, going to check the sand pits. We don't have grapple, so I don't think they're going to bother trying to check Shack Tool. We don't have ice either, so even if they know the ice clip, I suppose you could farm up some power bombs and try a crystal flash clip. There's been a lot of hype about crystal flash clips lately. Gotta get an Alcatraz maneuver to get up there. What do we find? I can't tell if that's phaser or plasma on this screen. Definitely something you want, nonetheless, when you don't have any beams. Thank you, chat. Looks like the stream froze a little bit on Dapper's side. There we go. It's picked back up. Ooh, Fusion did enrage Fantoon. Looks like they have enough health to survive this, though. So Dapper gonna keep Spazer. And I mean, the sand pit is a time sink just to keep Spazer, but you don't have any beams, so it's a tough call. Fantoon's almost dead. Just get that super in there, Fusion. Kapow. Okay, Dapper having some trouble. Looks like it decided to reset. And there's a reason that Poplars likes to call those sand halls anxiety rooms. They can be really difficult. Especially when you don't have full movement. But having gravity and high jump and space jump, that kind of helps a lot with those. Right side of Rex ship, 15th power bomb for Fusion. That's 3 packs. That's the magic number for dealing with the Metroids. Oh, Plasma at right sandpit. Good call on the reset. Definitely going to keep this one. But yes, power bombs, 15 is the magic number. If you don't have ice when you go into Turian, you will have to kill the baby well, not the baby, but you'll have to kill the regular Metroids using power bombs. Double hitting, it'll take 3 power bombs each. That's a total of 12 for the 4 Metroid rooms if you group. Having 15 power bombs also allows crystal flashes if needed. Okay, FusionWarrior is going to check the E-Tank location. There was a save, so he can always reset. Dapper getting that green gate glitch. Pretty nice. Gonna show us that stutter 3 tap again. Deciding to skip out on Meridia now after having checked almost everything you can check. Actually, I think they did check everything other than Shack Tool, which they can't, and anything else left to check is behind Bot Wound. I did not see what was at the Wreck Ship E-Tank item, but obviously Fusion did not like it. Captain making his way up Red Tower, no doubt going to Wreck Ships. Might be making a play at Gauntlet or Volcano beforehand. We'll see. I don't think they've been to Upper Red Tower yet, so they got a few checks along the way. Fusion cleaning out the addict. Heading back to the right side. We're going to get to see a robot room. Dapper going into Alpha Power Bomb room here. I believe it was just ammo at both locations. And Spring Ball at the addict. Nice. Fusion is definitely going to grab that. A lot of people like to claim Spring Ball as the favorite item. It can be pretty fun, but it's definitely not one of our favorites. When you don't have regular bombs, though, it can actually save you from a few soft blocks. So it's a valuable pickup in Rando. Getting another E-Tank finally. I believe that's the 4th one we've seen. And Fusion did check the little above ocean item there, sometimes called Criteria Maze. Making the way over to bowling. Did not bother to go in and check the reserve from the top side. You've got Speed Booster, you're going to go down and check the missiles anyway. I would have done the same thing. It's less time to actually just spark up there than it is to go through the door and check. As long as you're planning to go through bowling anyway. Oof. Dapper having a little bit of issues with this spiky room and the yapping moths. If it's not one, it's the other. We'll see what's under the reserve in just a moment. Fusion making a good call to lay that power bomb up the stairs to the right. It'll clear out a bunch of blocks. If you place it to the left of the bowling statue, you'll end up having to lay 2 power bombs to get up if you don't have regular bombs. Looks like the reserve fell down and this Chozo is holding it for you. Oof. Just do the spark, Fusion. Just do the spark. Looks like Dapper's making a save at the ship before going over to wreck ship. And an E-Tank at the... Ooh. So at the reserve locations at an E-Tank, at the missiles under the reserve is where the reserve's actually at. I doubt Fusion wanted to pick that up since he skipped it when he went past it the first time. Dapper's going to be disappointed with what he finds over in the gauntlet location. Now, he does know what's at the back, so we'll see if he resets. He doesn't need the supers. If I'm reading that right, he's got 95 maximum supers, 25 maximum missiles. I would be surprised if he picks up any more ammo. We were watching Captain Dapper and we missed what was at the gravity location. Doesn't look like it was anything important. So I see Darker listing the list of what appears to be the last possible locations to check to find a Varia. So this race is, well, it's hard to say who's ahead at this point. There's been a lot of route divergence. Fusion has already cleared wreck ship. Dapper has cleared most of Meridia and Kraid. So I'd say Dapper has maybe the upper hand right now, but it's all about where Varia ends up being. And maybe some beams. I'm sure they would like some beams, even though they have the ammo to do pretty much everything they need to do. Another reset from Dapper after checking the criteria power bombs. It's just the regular missile, not worth the time. There we go, Fusion getting 4th E-tank for them. Dapper getting his 5th E-tank. Okay, so I did miscount earlier. And there's another one at Rick's ship that's at least 6. I'm glad these runners both decided to check the ocean item before going into Rick's ship, because we've seen people clear Rick's ship and find Varia right there in the ocean. Yeah, hell runs are not in logic, as looks like Darkford is explaining pretty well in chat. But the one room in Bubble Mountain, that's called Bubble Mountain, the one that has the King Cack-Attack in it, there's an item in there. Bubble Mountain's not heated. There's a very tiny heated room in between the Frog Speedway and Bubble Mountain. So since we have Speed Booster, we can get there without really any risk at all. Fusion cleaning up parts of Meridia. I don't remember anything really worthwhile except for the sand pits. Both have a beam. Left has Spazer, right has Plasma. Captain dealing with Phantoon. Trying to work in some Dopplers. Got plenty of ammo, plenty of health. It's just a matter of time, Phantoon. That looked like a purposeful enrage. Supers do double damage. So if on a Phantoon cycle, if you get in 2 missiles, pause 2 missiles, and then a super, that's 1,000 damage. And if you do that 3 times, it's going to be a kill with only 2 enrages. We would still try to do a Doppler instead for the first 2. Especially just the first one. That way you would cut out an enrage. Fusion not bothering to pick up any of those supers at the watering hole. Don't blame him. And then deciding to go ahead and pick some up. Okay. Oh, yeah, at 65 max, now 70, you're good. I'm pretty sure that's enough. But having a few to spare is always worth an item fanfare. One item fanfare to have 5 super missiles to spare? Absolutely. Phantoon is not playing nice, even though it's just a matter of time. Okay. Fusion Warrior's next move will no doubt be to check Aqueduct and... I don't know. Checking at Sempit's probably a good call in their position. Then again, going up to Bot Wound is a good call too. You got the ammo to do Bot Wound, you got speed to get there. Wait, no, does Fusion have speed? We forget where speed was now. No? Okay. He does not have speed. Yeah, so not everyone's capable of Crystal Flash Clipping, unfortunately. Speed was at Crate. Thank you, Darkard, for the reminder. Yeah, so checking a sandpit, checking the right sandpit, as in it's the right call, because it's got plasma. And then gonna nope right out of Meridia, go to Crade, hopefully, we'll see. It would definitely be better than wasting the time going back up through Meridia, back to Aqueduct, and checking the left sandpit. Captain working through Rex Shift, going to be cleaning it out, no doubt. Just hoping to find that elusive Avaria suit. We still have not seen the Climb Supers location, and we have seen suits there in this rando tournament. We have not seen anything past Botwoon in Meridia, and Dapper does have the ability, having Speed Booster. He could have gone to Botwoon and gone past. We have not seen what's at Bubble Mountain. I don't think I've seen a suit at Bubble Mountain. Actually, no, I take that back. I think we have seen Gravity there, but they already have that, so not not gonna find that there. Alrighty. Fusion making a way through the warehouse. We'll find Speed Booster here in the wall, if we remember right. Yes, definitely gonna grab that. Ooh. Alrighty. We remember Spring Ball is up here at the attic. Dapper definitely gonna pick it up. Oh. The attic can be... Well, it got speed. I guess you might have been able to do the speed spark. Spark through the speed spark. Mixing my words up. It's pretty late here in the East Coast. You know, the attic can be a difficult place to traverse if you don't have screw attack or have room to do the spark through the attic. Ooh, getting the rock pattern on Kraid. All right. Kraid getting 2 dances tonight. You are a lucky Kraid today. Dapper seeing that E-Tank at the reserve location. Fusion Warrior going a little berserk there with the super missiles on Kraid. That was entertaining. Captain Dapper about to head towards bowling. Oof. We don't have many locations left to check. They have to make a decision of check a few things that are out of the way, go up to Meridia, and maybe get a boss down and a few item checks. This is a super filled seed. Both the runners pretty close to the 100 mark. Dapper a little bit over. Will you spark up and get that E-Tank Dapper? It would allow you to do stand up if you find charge. Looks like he's gonna get the reserve tank and spark up to get that E-Tank. So if Varia is at Bubble Mountain, I think that's gonna be the place that trolls these runners the most. FusionWarrior closing in on that 100 super mark. Not even sure how to count Dapper's supers at this point. Probably 115. Ooh, Dapper is going back into Rex Shift. I don't think he checked the E-Tank item. Maybe, yeah, they're going into the save room, so he's probably going to check the E-Tank. You know, it might not be... Oh, I don't know where to go from here for either of these runners. I don't know what I'd do. Well, I guess if I were Fusion and I was already in Upper North Fair, I would have ran over to Bubble Mountain, checked, and went back. It would be a relatively short check if you're already down there. Having speed, you can go back up into get to Botwoon. That would let you check the Botwoon E-Tank, the Precious location, and if you kill Dragon, that opens up 2 more locations in Meridia to check. Not sure how comfortable either of these runners would be at an ammo kill or a speed kill on Dragon. The health is available for either option. Dapper gonna show us the Forgotten Highway. This is an interesting play. I don't think he'll be able to check any items from this side without going through Meridia, though, and coming back through by the glass tube. Fusion also accidentally skipping that E-Tank and turning around and going back for it, just like Dapper. Fusion getting a little goot spark in the save room. No doubt gonna check one of the, I don't know, It's a smart play to save Purloin to Bot Wound and Dragon 2, but most like, yes, going down to one of the sand pits. You've already checked right, you have plasma, so we will probably see a reset when she sees the Spazer in the left sand pit. Dapper making another save in Meridia, this time on the opposite end. Fusion resetting, it looks like. Yes. These runners are no doubt thinking that their opponent is way ahead of them because they've both died. They're both having trouble finding Varia. They might even be expecting to see a dot done at any point now because a lot of runners finish between the 1 hour and 1:15 mark in this tournament. CaptainDapper going down the Meridia toilet, or has someone else called it, I can't remember who, the Prime Meridian. I wish I could remember who I heard call it that, because that's a good name for it. The two divides Meridia kind of in half there. Getting these supers into super speedy Botwoon's tricky hitboxes can be really difficult, but Botwoon is down. That's at least 2 item checks. Dapper doing the Green Gate glitch. Very few tries. If I don't get that first try, it takes probably 10 or more. Alright, next item check looks like it's going to be the Precious. The room before Dragon has a missile hidden into the far right wall in vanilla. It is called the Precious location because of a typo. They meant to type previous and instead got Precious. So we've had Precious ever since then. Getting this energy refill before Dragon. I often forget that energy refill is there and just think of that room as a save room. These runners are close, and they've made some of the same plays at this point. I think they've all made the same, they've all made the same checks at this point. None of them have checked what's at the Climb Supers. None of them have checked Bubble Mountain. So probably the trolliest thing we can have right now is grapple at the Climb Supers with Varia at Shack Tool. And please don't let that be a commentator's curse. Please. Let's try a blessing instead. They're gonna find Varia behind Dragon. For these runners' sake, I do not want that Dark Red. I've yet to commentator's curse anyone, as far as I'm aware, so let's hope it stays that way. There have been some pretty amazing commentator curses in the past Super Metroid tournaments. One of the most well-known comes to mind with Poplars commentating a random match with Wild Anaconda. Poplar said something about how anything could still go wrong, stand-up could still mess up somehow, and Wild Anaconda ended up soft locking with the baby out in a different out of place, so it couldn't get hit by Mother Brain, and he didn't have X-ray, so he couldn't get up and move even if he wanted to, even if the baby still would move. So if we can get Poppy on comms one day, maybe we can get them to tell the story. They're pretty good at telling it. It's a pretty funny story. We are about to have both runners in the Dragon fight. I bet neither of them has any idea just how close this is right now. They're both in the Dragon room. Wow, I did not see this coming from so early on when they divvied up so much. I was sure someone would have found Varia by now. Dragon is down for FusionWarrior. Just gotta find that Varia suit and beeline it to Ridley. I'm sure they're both glancing at the SRL every time they get an item or change doors, expecting to see a dot done. Oh gosh, okay, so an E-tank behind Dragon. That means that Varia or Grapple could be at the Climb Supers, or at Plasma, or in Bubble Mountain. I might be missing a location. Waterway. Yeah, Waterway off of Undercharged location. That's another one. So oh gosh. And it's not like any of them line up well. If you go down and bet on it being in Upper Norfair, you have to go all the way back out of Norfair. Climb Supers and Waterway are probably the closest. Fusion is definitely gonna go check Plasma though. That's the closest one after Dragon, so we'll see how this plays out. This is, gosh, I feel sorry for these runners. Darkrid, did you roll this seed? Of course. Please don't roll seeds for me in the future matches. Just kidding, of course. It's all RNG. You have no say in it, we know. It's just fun to blame you. Varia at Plasma. I don't think I've seen this in any of the tournaments so far. This is definitely something that I don't think anyone in this race would have expected. No doubt gonna try and beeline it for Ridley. You've got plenty of ammo. Screw attack would be nice for Lord Warfare, but you should be fine with all of this ammo and health. Dapper's going over to Plasma also. He will be glad to find his various suit. Getting a little high five from the runners to go through the Plasma Spark room. Alright. Captain Dapper cleaning out the pirates. Gonna find the various suit and be very happy to see it. FusionWarrior. What play are you making? It might have... If you had gone down the Prime Meridian from the Plasma Spark Room, would have been your fastest way out. And you've checked everything else here. Maybe went through Cap Alley to farm the supers. I don't know. I don't think I would have done that. I agree, AWP. It would be nice if they found ice. Be nice to find wave, too. We love to find wave early. Oh, did Dapper intend to get grabbed there? Maybe it's a way down? Not sure if that's faster, but it's cool to see that. Again, going through the Prime Meridian would have been your fastest way out. This is a pretty good farming spot, though. I didn't think about that. Without grapple? That's probably... There's a better spot to farm just before going into Lower Norfair. Just below Bubble Mountain, but... Why did Fusion go out the upper side of Meridia? Going up Red Tower? Are we getting a Ridley skip? Surely not. I can understand how someone might do Ridley before Fantoon and just think that's the end of it and beeline it to G4 and thus Fantoon skip. We've seen that a time or two in this tournament. I think Maniacal did it in one of his races versus Commodora. Consider me puzzled. Ship refill for all of the supers, I guess. Okay. Might have been faster to farm them in just by Bubble Mountain. Making that play to go to the ship and refill has put them from the lead. Oh, yeah. Dapper's definitely in the lead now after that. That's a good point, Trunivore. You know, either of these runners feels behind, feels like they're already lost at this point. You know, they've both died at X-Ray and got set back a bit. FusionWarrior got set back a little bit more, having to clean out Green Brinstar again, whereas Captain only had to clean out Pink Brinstar again. They both full cleared wrecked ship and didn't find much of anything they wanted. FusionWarrior got crayed well after Dapper, and if Dapper went to Meridia earlier than Fusion, he cleaned out everything before Botwoon. Even though he had Speed Booster, he did not go to Botwoon. Did not go past Botwoon. So then went to Wreck Ship, cleared it out, I think, after that. And that's where he lost time. They gave FusionWarrior the time to catch up on the item checks, to get back into Meridia. After finding Speed Booster, it crayed. So Fusion got the Varia suit first. And then making that play to go up and refill at the ship. I mean, you have so many supers. I can understand the thinking behind that. But that play put them a bit behind. Checking the crumble shafts, but not ice. I'm really curious about what FusionWarrior was thinking with this routing, and oof, crouching and getting stuck a little early in that room. And the croc speed hallway. Dapper being the first one to make it to lower North there. Gonna make a save first. Good call. Even though Fusion is behind, it's not over. Just a few rooms apart. The difference could be made up very easily based on making some item checks. Hopefully, no one dies to Ridley. They've got a lot of supers. They makes the Ridley fight very fast. They got a lot of ammo, got a lot of health. They should be perfectly fine for that. They've got all the same items, so right now it's Dapper's to lose based on movement. But who knows? There's a lot of different things that can happen here. Worst room in the game might just make up some time here. Not having ice will make it, well, a common strat with charged plasma ice is to freeze one of the wall pirates and use them to get up. But we have space jump, so we don't really need that. Just super the pirates so they don't knock you out of the air. I wonder if Dapper's trying to farm something off of them. Both runners are in worst room in the game. Dapper is going to check the SMRAT location. Fusion following in the door just seconds behind. This race has really gotten exciting. Hopefully, neither of them falls back down the crumbles here. Oof. Yeah. Okay. They're both in the clear. Both heading to Amphitheater. This match is anyone's game still. Let's see. You know, if I'm in Dapper's shoes, I might check Firefly first, hoping it's an E-Tank. That health, oh, the health is low. Those key hunters do a lot of damage. You don't have grapple to make the farming very easy in the pre-Ridley room. Oh, jeez. So, which vanilla Ridley item are we expecting to find today? Charge or bombs? It seems like in these SMRAT seeds, most of the runs that I've seen, Ridley has either charge or bombs. PBs of shame are just super missiles. FusionWarrior has plenty and is not going to pick them up. Ooh, seeing a guess of grapple. Alright. It's nice to have something different there. Though I believe your chances of it being grapple are pretty low. Well, I guess not really at this point, based on all the item locations we've seen. And I can't think of any reason why grapple can't be there. Both of our runners are in the... Oh, wait. That pause is getting the health. So has Fusion is leaving the Metal Pirates room. Dapper is entering. No matter which shoes I was in this, I would farm a little bit. You know, 3 tank Ridley, doable. Fusion definitely needs to farm a bit. They both have plenty of supers. They won't need to worry about that. They just need a little bit of health to feel safe with this Ridley fight. Who's gonna go in first? Fusion was missing the most ammo. Oh, sorry, missing the most health. Who feels the most comfortable with the least amount of health? Oh, okay. Still farming, still farming. I am starting to get on the edge of my seat. I hope all of you too are on the edge of your seat. Man, either of them, you know, wondering where that dot done is at, wondering what is keeping their opponent, if they had a hard time finding Varia too, and if there's any chance that they have to win this. Wanting to be cautious about Ridley, because the save is a little far back. Wanting to make sure you've got full health. I can understand that. I probably would have just gone in with as soon as I had 5 E-tanks. So Fusion got started on the Ridley fight first. Dapper just moments behind. This... Oh man. I'm pretty sure that either of these runners have the ammo to get through the Zebs and Mother Brain. So I don't think they'll be too concerned about finding ice on the way out, but I would still make a few quick checks that are right along the way. Maybe, yeah, definitely I would be checking Ridley's item. I would check what's in the gel, I would check Firefly, I would check what's at the Spring Ball Maze. Oh, FusionWarrior. Going into the reserves. Ridley! Ridley, stop being a jerk! That was close. I'm not sure what that power brown was for, maybe thinking about crystal flashing, but you weren't under 50 health. Dapper's Ridley is down, and Ridley holding his classic charge beam. If you bet on charge behind Ridley, congratulations, you made the safe bet. Like, it's not even a meme anymore that it's the Ridley beam. It just is. Dapper stopping to farm a little bit could be a good play, could be a bad play. Depends on what happens with FusionWarrior. Oof, 105 health. 90 health for FusionWarrior. Lower Norfair is not kind. No, AWP, always deliver your puns. Always. The only bad pun is the pun not said. Fusion doing a Crystal Flash. I don't blame them at all. It's a smart move. This farming time after Ridley might just be what caused his Dapper the raise. No. Gosh. It's still not decided. There's still... Oh gosh. Yeah, Lower Norfair can still interfere and cause FusionWarrior some trouble. Item checks might come into play. You know, I imagine that the reason Dapper was farming is, you know, you feel behind. Varia was at almost the very last place you could possibly check for it. I think they had 3 other locations to check. And you died at X-Ray and lost, what, 5 minutes? Maybe a little bit more than that, maybe a little bit less. You probably felt behind this whole race. There's Grapple Beam at the Spring Ball Maze. But you feel behind this whole race, you figure, just take your time, you know, make sure you finish at this point. Getting a Franker Z check is an E-Tank. Yes, Fusion will be grabbing that. And having Charged Plasma. And, oh, you skipped X-Ray. After your death, you didn't pick up X-Ray again. So, not that you have anything left to microwave. So, I guess that was a good call. But having Charged Plasma means, and 7 E-Tanks plus some reserves, means that he can do a stand-up glitch. It will save him a little bit of time. No one checked fire. I don't think. Maybe I missed it if someone checked. A reserve at the prison. Yeah, I like to think that what we call the SMRAT location, because it's of a copyrighted name that it's most popularly known as a copyrighted name. And I like to think that that room looks like Franker Z. And then the room here that CaptainDapper is in, it looks more like Zreknarf. Zreknarf is the lesser-known brother of Franker Z. Known for being quirky. So it looks like all of the plays that really went into making from finding Varia on, the plays that have made or broke this run for these runners was Fusion lost time going up to the ship for a refill. Didn't have to farm much ammo because of that, but did lose some time, at least room-wise. Dapper spent a lot more time farming, especially after Ridley. So, oof. There could still be something to happen. Fusion, saying hi to the fish with a little dance. The punkfish, or Sephi fish, or fishy loff, being the only red fish in the game. It was claimed by both Sephi and Punk. And if I remember right, in the 2017 rando tournament, they raced for ownership of the fish, and Punk won. What we call the fish, I don't know. It has 3 names, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's a constant back and forth thing with them. Yeah, True to 4, they've made all of the same checks for the most part. CaptainDapper gave us a look at what was in prison, and I think that's really the only difference. AWP, good one. I approve. FusionWarrior gonna be the first into G4. No Fantoon skips in this matchup. And when these runners come in for an interview after, hopefully they will. I know it's pretty late in the US for a lot of us here. Those of us in North America. Let's see. But if they come in for an interview, I wonder just how he's gonna feel if I tell him that he lost due to farming a bunch after Ridley. Assuming that Fusion keeps the lead, as long as nothing terrible happens, Fusion will probably keep it. Okay, I see Redemption in chat saying that Captain may not have a mic right now. Well, that's all right. Maybe we can get him to answer a few questions in chat before heading off. But like I said, it's pretty late for some of us. It's after 2 a.m. in the East Coast. A little bit past my usual bedtime. Both of the runners are going to have to do the power bombs for the Metroids. We don't have ice, and we don't have regular bombs. So the only option is power bombs. Luckily, they all have enough. Dapper has more than enough to take out all of the Metroids and still Crystal Flash after the baby, if that is something he chooses to do. Not sure I would do that, considering if I was in their shoes, I don't know how to do the speed zap skip, so I would have to use my supers on the zaps. I don't know if Fusion is necessarily setting up to Crystal Flash. It's just generally a good idea to damage yourself down here so the baby takes less time. But using those reserves, maybe they are planning to Crystal Flash. by this point, both of them and Tyrion, you know, with everything they went through for this race, are starting to figure out that their opponent had a lot of trouble too. They haven't seen a dot done yet. Okay, no Crystal Flash. Probably wanted to keep that ammo. FusionWarrior getting through the door as CaptainDapper gets ready to face the baby. Making a save before Mother Brain. Not a bad call in any rando race. Okay, no speed steps get from FusionWarrior. Got plenty of ammo to take care of this though. Oh, the worst part about this is you don't have ice, you can't freeze the Rinkas. So they respawn almost immediately. You don't have screw attack, so you can't just spin jump to get rid of them. So that Mother Brain 1 fight is a pain. Fusion will not be able to do a stand-up glitch. They've lost too much health already. Dapper belts into the Mother Brain room, and we'll see if he attempts a speed zap skip. Oh, it looks like he's gonna go for it, considering he could do that stutter 3 in the Meridia. Ooh, I honestly don't know how to do this one myself. I know it's a stutter 3 through the door transition. I'm not sure if you have to tap after the door, but I know it's a really tight. Even if you do it well, it's still that you fall off as you press down. Gonna give it a few tries. Unfortunately, it's not going to make a difference at this point. Okay, looks like he's given it enough tries, and he's just going to brute force the way through. Both runners fighting Mother Brain. FusionWarrior in the cutscene transition between Mother Brain 2 and 3. CaptainDapper between 1 and 2 now. Even if Dapper does stand up, which doesn't look very likely right now, I don't think that would make up enough time. It would probably make up just... I believe if you have a full beam combo and you do it optimally, it saves you about 20 seconds. I feel like I heard that number somewhere. So not having that probably would save him 10 seconds at best, maybe. Just guesstimating. Turning off both suits. That's interesting. What is... Yeah. You want to keep Varia on for that. Well, without Varia, the Rainbow Beam would have done 600. And you would have been okay. But now you have to live through another Rainbow Beam. Fusion Warrior starting the escape sequence. Now, I see a lot of people in this tournament not getting that first escape room very optimally, but it's very easy to do actually once you know the trick. Make sure that Samus lands in the doorway, so her feet are on the ground before going through the door. Make sure that you're holding ankle down before going through the door. And then when you go through, just hold shoot and run, and you'll get all the barriers and get under the top ones before they come down close enough to stop you. I can't imagine how nerve-wracking this is for them. You know, you could still see, like thinking that you could still see your opponent done when you're in the escape climb or parlor. I hope that my upcoming match with Mithra is like that. Hope that I come through here feeling behind and it's really close. We'll find out though. Oh, Fusion making the bold call to save the animals, not having seen a dot done or dot forfeit from your opponent. That is brave. GG on that, Fusion Warrior. I'm a fan of saving the animals. Though I would not have, if I was in their shoes, I would not have chosen that. I would not have done it. Fusion Warrior is done with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 28 seconds. GG. Not all that bad considering the location of area in this seed. I'll extend an interview invite. We'll see if they want to come in and talk a little bit about their thoughts throughout the seed. Looks like Fusion Warrior will join us. All right. Dapper gonna be right behind, getting a spark. Looked like Fusion missed that spark in the coming out the climb escape. Dapper, will you two save the animals? I assume that means I'm joined by Fusion Warrior now. GG.
How did I not? I messed everything up along the way. I failed things I haven't failed in years. How?
This seed, just blame Darkrid. This seed was really trolly. Also, I'm really glad to see CaptainDapper is saving the animals also. That was a bold move by you to save the animals without knowing where your opponent was at. Like, at this point, you had to think you were behind.
I thought I was expecting a dot done for the past 45 minutes or so, and I figured there has to be a story behind it, and the most respectful thing I could do would be to save the animals in solidarity, because I can't see how I made that much of a failure of myself and not something even more tragic happened. So yeah, no chatter in SRL, so I didn't have any like clue that, you know, oh, computer caught fire or anything like that, but yeah. I felt like, you know, save the animals real quick, show them respect, show Dapper respect by showing the animals respect.
So, if you went and checked the mode item and Upper Red Tower, while Captain went straight over to Green Bryn Star. That was the first route divergence early on. You ended up checking the same items in Pink Grin, etc., going to X-Ray. You both died in X-Ray, leaving after checking X-Ray. Both of you. Dapper's save was at the Edecoons, though. So he had a little bit less time to make up than you did going in. And I knew seeing that on both sides of the screen that both of you are immediately going to feel behind from that death. And then the next bit of route divergence, actually, CaptainDapper was the first one to get into Meridia. He checked Crate first, got a speed booster. He went into Meridia instead of going direct ship. He cleared out everything before Botwoon, and I'm not sure why, but didn't go to Botwoon. Okay, it looks like Captain is going to come in for an interview too, so we'll get to ask him. But because of him leaving Meridia early and not going past Botwoon, instead of going up to Rex ship, that gave you the time to catch up. You were the first one to find Varia. He was like 2 rooms behind you at that point. The race was really exciting. What really made the difference, well, at first it looked like when you went up to refill after Meridia, after killing Dragon, you went out the top of Red Tower, and we were wondering what you were thinking with that. But you did a ship refill, and you had so many supers that makes sense after seeing what you were doing. And you were both in Ridley at the same time. You both farmed a bit before Ridley. Dapper farmed a little bit more before and farmed a good bit after. That's where he lost the race, was farming so much after Ridley.
Yeah, I always try to count on the Crystal Flash to get out of Lower North there. That's usually my go-to, especially when I have the ability to do so. And I figured if at worst I would break even going up to the ship versus standing around without grapple and farming for those supers.
Yeah, that definitely is what made the difference here. That Dapper, we're just like, come on, Dapper, go! It's so close. It was so hype. So, up until finding Varia, we were all guessing about where it could be, and I was praying I didn't commentate or curse by saying that it could be grapple could be at the climb super location, and then that would mean to go to Shaktul for Varia. I mused about that and then immediately regretted it, praying I didn't commentate or curse, and I didn't.
Yeah, grapple I mean, I was actually would have gunned right to Shaktul if I had gotten the grapple beam at any point.
Yeah, I think by the time you found Varia, both of you had the same number of checks until you found Varia, and both of you had let's see, waterway. GG, Captain.
Hey, GG. Thank you. How's it going,
guys? So tell us about the seed from your perspective.
I collected lots of items.
So you took a death early on in X-Ray after leaving the X-Ray room, and
yeah,
FusionWarrior took a death in the same place.
Really?
Yeah, you had saved at the Edecoons, and Fusion had saved at the ship last. So you had less stuff to make up.
Yeah, wow.
And so I know you had to feel behind at that point, but you were actually ahead.
I didn't feel too behind then because I knew exactly where Space Jump was. I forgot what was down at Charge Beam, and so I picked it up, and then I was mad because I hate scrolling through X-Ray. But
I was wondering what
I didn't feel too behind there because I think maybe I lost maybe 2 minutes. Like at the absolute most, I lost 2 minutes because all I had to go do was get space jump again, and then I was back where I started. I feel like the place that I messed up the most is I didn't stick with the Fantoon, not Fantoon, the other one.
Meridia?
Yeah, I didn't stick with Meridia. I decided
Yeah,
like halfway through, I'm just like, I'll go back to wrecked ship instead.
I was wondering about that, and I was actually gonna ask you because you cleared out everything before Botloon, and then you left to go to wreck ship. And I was thinking, well, if you had ice as your way to get past Botloon, you could have just forgot you had ice. That's a common thing to happen in randos. But forgetting you have speed when you just sparked up the aqueduct didn't seem like it was possible.
Yeah, no, I didn't forget. I just got plasma beam, and then I went down to the bottom, and I was just like, oh, I'm here. I'll just go get Fantoon real quick, and then go Forgotten Highway. Give the people a show. Nobody ever does Forgotten Highway.
We did notice that you went through Forgotten Highway.
I don't really know what my exact planning was on that. I guess I don't know. I'm used to having grappling hook at that point too, and I didn't have too many E-tanks there either. I mean, obviously I didn't have the cleanest fight. What is that guy's name? Why can't I think of it? Dragon. Jeez, I couldn't think of his name.
I nearly died in like what? 3 out of my 4 bosses.
But had I
Well,
done that, I had plasma,
was
so I
killed
might
in
have
the
kept going.
cutscene.
Oh man, just before I took out Mother Brain, I was like, watch, he's gonna finish like a half a minute before me. And if I had actually followed through with stand-up glitch, I would have won. I don't think I would have won anyway, but it was still pretty close.
The race was actually pretty close. When you found Varia, Dapper, you were just like, you were coming up into the plasma room as FusionWarrior was leaving the plasma room. I think Plasma Spark, actually.
Huh.
And neither of you decided to go through the Prime Meridian, also sometimes called the toilet, which would have been the fastest way out of Meridia. And at first I was wondering why you were going the other ways, but you both chose a different route in order to refill your ammo, it looked like.
Wait, where's that?
You went, you had the Yapping Mall grab you and take you down to like a little farm room.
Oh yeah, that was kind of an accident.
Okay. And FusionWarrior went all the way up to the ship to refill the supers, but they were missing a lot of supers, so that might have actually been a good call. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I was down to like what, 23 out of 100.
Yeah, you were missing a ton of supers.
Yeah, that was another thing I did this time. Is I was too careful with ammo. I kept refilling all over the place when I know I had enough, but I was just like, I'll refill anyway.
So when I tell you that you both were fighting Ridley at the same time, do you think you should have spent less time farming after Ridley because of that? Because you were fighting Ridley at the same time, maybe 15, 20 seconds apart on the kills.
Oh wow. I'm pretty afraid of those red key hunters, to be honest.
They do a lot of damage, so I don't blame you too much. Fusion actually set up to Crystal Flash coming out of Wastelands.
Which one's Wastelands?
The one with the giant side hoppers has the PBs of Shame to the left.
Oh, okay. Wow. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so that choice to Crystal Flash is what made the time difference for FusionWarrior to get ahead of you.
I always forget about Crystal Flash.
This was a really exciting race. There's a lot of divergence early on, but you ended up checking all the same stuff, just in different orders. And you coming to Varia around the same time, step for step, following each other from Varia down to Ridley. It was really good.
Yeah, apparently I checked a lot. I got 57%. I know I stopped streaming already, so it doesn't show up on stream, but
I got 47.
I should probably have practiced at some point.
Though I skipped so many items after my death.
Oh yeah.
That charge beam location was rude.
Where was it?
It was
Oh, that
behind
was
Ridley, where it's kind of a vanilla location now for SMRAT.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was pretty rude. I remember getting that. I'm like, oh, of course it's here. Now that it doesn't matter at all.
So, FusionWarrior winning this moves on, and your next opponent, Fusion, will be Asder. What do you think about that?
That's not gonna go well for me.
Oh, yeah, Asder is a pretty well known speedrunner for Super Metroid, so I would feel pretty. I would feel like that's a daunting task going up against Asder myself.
Yeah,
So,
definitely not gonna make any plans to run under these kind of conditions, having been up since 6:30 in the morning, walk 16 miles, and then decide, at midnight 30 I'm gonna do a speed run race. Yeah, that's not gonna happen again.
Yeah, definitely make sure you're well rested for that. So, I don't think your next opponent is decided yet, Captain. Sephi and BF Robber still have at least one more race, maybe two. Whoever wins that will face Swap, and then Swap versus that winner, whoever loses is going down to face you. So it could be Swap Space, it could be BF Robber, and it might be Sephi, though I would say that's doubtful.
Speaking of Sephi, I got to dance with this fishy loft twice this seed.
We did see the dance.
With the what?
The red fish above Mount Everest as you're leaving Meridia going to Red Tower. It's the only fish in the game, and there's a back and forth going with Sephi and Punk for years now about who of them owns the fish, as in it's theirs. So some people call it Sephi fish, some people call it Punk fish. Fishy Loft is another name. And so it's kind of a meme about whether you tickle the fish or kill the fish or just ignore it.
I've taken up the stance of dancing with it.
Oh, nice.
We like to tickle the fish if we have grapple beam.
Well, that was really close, man. Thank you, Fusion.
Yeah, sorry it was so difficult to get this arranged.
That's all right. It's just how life is sometimes. It's been crazy for me, so.
Yeah,
understandable.
This whole past week I've had so many days where I had to get up early. I'm so glad that tomorrow I don't have to get up early.
So is there anything else that either of you would like to say before we start signing it off? And I will start with FusionWarrior since you won the race.
I did not. I was trying to crystal flash in the bramble, and my tired brain thought, "Oh, I can clear the bramble and crystal flash at the same time." No.
I was wondering what happened there. Darkrid called that you were going to crystal flash, and we didn't know you well, so we weren't sure, and then you didn't, so we were wondering what happened. But now we know. Darkrid, you were right.
Exactly 11 power bombs. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. I don't need any more power bombs for the rest of the game. Nope.
Anything else to add?
That's all from me. Thank you, everyone, for doing this on the shortest of notice. Thank you, CaptainDapper, GG. I mean, I don't know. I think I stole it from you. I don't think I deserve to be in the winners brackets. I'm not gonna win this, but I'm very happy I got to race with you.
Yeah, same. I'm not gonna win either. I'm just glad we had a nice last race. I think the first one I won by quite a bit, and the second one you won by quite a bit, and then at least we had one evenly, give the people what they deserve for their money.
Well, considering they paid the prime price of free for this race. I think I got a really good show out of it. I'm sure the audience feels the same way. I really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to say, Captain, before I start signing us off?
Well, thank you to everybody who watched. It seems like there's still quite a bit of people here, so that's pretty cool. And thanks for all the staff putting this together. It's really cool. Dark Red, especially thanks to you, man. You do like everything for this SMRAT thing. It's crazy.
Dark Red does do a lot. Swap Space does quite a lot too behind the scenes.
Well, see, I'm only here once every 3 weeks, so I don't know anything anymore.
I think Dark Red and Swap are the two who do the most. But so I believe our next matches are later today. If it's what's the date? If it's already the 18th for you, it's the 18th for a lot of us now. The next race is really exciting. J-Chalk versus Poplars. That starts at 2 p.m. Eastern today. Little under 12 hours. Really excited to see this matchup. And then the next race after that, Jay and Poplars are going to be racing all three back to back. Then on Tuesday, I will be racing Mithra Miz. That race is round 1 of the losers bracket. So I think that will be an exciting match. Mithra seems to be about the same skill level as Zion, so we'll see how that goes. And the next matches don't show up until Wednesday after that, so I guess that is all. Again, follow these runners for putting on a good show. There's a very good race. They deserve a follow. Give Dark Grid a follow for all the stuff he does behind the scenes. Really helpful. And we had, I believe this is the first time I've seen this name on tracking. So I apologize if I mess it up, but it's Vinicus. They did a pretty good job on the tracking. I make a lot of mistakes when I track, so show them some love with a follow too. And
yeah, follow Starisms. Don't forget that one.
Thank you. So I had a great time tonight. I hope all of the audience and everyone else did too. GG again to both of you, and we'll see you next race.
Cool. GG Fusion. I don't think I said it yet. So have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, good game.
Bye.